So never give up. I'll give a little bit of background and then impact and the results. Basically, be the structure of my presentation. So I was talking about what's the background. It's something that happens with Rolls-Royce. So last year in Rolls-Royce announced that they will do a mass layoff, dismissing 5,000 employees. Yeah, and they did. And then at that time, they said, well, for all the managers will lose their jobs and they should apply for the jobs. And the results will be one of the 4 options here. We can get a promotion because you lose your job, but perhaps you can apply to a job higher than your current position. That's good news. Yeah, you can just do a horizontal movement, do anything else, but in another position, but keep the same level. You could receive downgrade. So in US, in some countries, allows downgrade. In Brazil, for example, it can. Brazil cannot downgrade. You can or you dismiss, or you cannot downgrade someone. You can downgrade or dismiss someone. Those are the 4 options. And my role was procurement development manager for Rolls-Royce. Yeah, so that's the background. So let's see how that impacted me. So it always has been in my prosperity project to get a promotion. Okay, so always Masaharu Taniguchi says we need to think big. So why not get a promotion even though if I'm 61 or 60 years old at that time? Yeah, that's okay. And then the recruitment process will be the following, because it will be hard to interview many people. So they create the board of the company create a kind of selection panel in which they analyze the 3 years performance of each candidate, collect some feedbacks, because every year we need to do some 360-degree self-assessment. So we send to our peers, superiors, and subordinates some information to get feedback from us. We pull all those information in a database, so we can assess how our stakeholders see us. So they collect all those data, and based on that, they will select which one you will be applied to each position, and then dismiss some of the managers on that position. So, okay, that was a opportunity, like I said. And there was a specific position that I love it. Wow, I like this job. And this job was perfect because I believe I had all the skills for that position and experience, yeah. And that's okay. And then by coincidence or accidentally, I had a meeting in England, in London last year. And by coincidence, I met 3 of the members of the selection panel. So I have a chance to introduce myself to them. So, well, that's a good sign. So it's in a perfect moment. My workshop could be any time, but was exactly in the moment that we're passing from this, and I have a chance to meet. So someone, when they will assess the candidates, they know that one I have met in a certain meeting here. So that's be a great opportunity. But the result was I was not granted a promotion, but I granted a horizontal movement. That's not bad. I could receive a downgrade or even be dismissed. So I was grateful for that, a little bit frustrated not to get a promotion because I was reading the sign and said, well, that's the perfect moment, yeah. And then the person that was selected for the position is a very young guy. It was a 33 years old guy. And when I received the feedback that I did not have some experience in one of the areas they asked, that's about compliance, I said, well, but that person does not have that experience as well for the specific compliance topic. Okay, but he has more potential. So thinking long term, that person has much more potential to contribute to the company than myself. And that I accept that. because he's 33 years old, he's a brilliant person. So in 10 or 15 years, he'll be in a very high level of production. 10 and 15 years from me, you'll be 70s, and then you'll be not the same level. So I accept that argument, but of course a little bit frustrated with the result. So what was my attitude as a Seicho-No-Ie? Because that was very frustrating. And by the way, the person that was selected became my boss.
Oh.
I applied for a position, I did not get a position, and when they moved me to a new position, they moved me to report for that person, for that young guy. Okay, that's it. So what I did, I put my Seicho-No-Ie teachings in practice to absorb that situation. So number one, we learn in Seicho-No-Ie that everything that happens is our responsibility. Nobody's guilty. So that's what I put here. My boss or the guys that was in the selection panel, when they decided to nominate that person, it's not, I should not be angry with them. Yeah, I should reflect upon myself and check, well, it's my responsibility. If that happens, it's something in my mind that make that happen. Yeah. B, what I did for 7 days, for 1 week, the prayer for reconciliation to the panel members and also for my new boss. Yeah, just let's say to remove any hard feelings that it's natural to have in situations like that. And I have a practice to put in my holy mission the names of my peers and my boss. And I keep them even though they move. So I still have members from my 10 years ago that I have no longer contact, but I kept those in my holy mission. So I add my new boss in the holy mission. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I have a talk to him because he knows that I applied for that position. And the new position that I'm doing is totally out of my comfort zone. So it's something that will be different from what I used to do. Not something that I like it, but okay, it is as it is. And then I told my boss, don't worry, I'll be your support. I'll do the best for your success. And he was not really, let's say, trust in that sense, because he was expecting I would be not cooperating or maybe do some sabotage and things like that. But no, believe me, because and then I told him, I'm not work for you. My employer is God, so I cannot. God, everything that I do is God's direction. So God is my employer. If He wants me to do that job, I'll do my best in that job. So don't worry. Yeah. And say, okay, that's good. And then I did also some affirmation for me, because I said, well, I believe I can be promoted even though I'm 61 years old. Yeah. So I did a lot of recitation, a lot of mentalization to put confidence, well, I can be promoted even though I am 61 years old. So that I work my mind because I lost confidence when that happened. And I said, well, that was a chance. If I miss that chance, when will be the next opportunity? In 5 years, in 3 years. So in 5 years, in 3 years, I'll be 64, 65. So how could I get a promotion in a high competitive corporation like Rolls-Royce at 64, 65? So I was quite, let's say, accepting that will be my last assignment in Rolls-Royce. But even though, let's say, okay, let's do mentalization, recitation, because the power of the word, that's what we learn in Seicho-No-Ie. And I was doing some recitation, time to time do some recitation to improve my belief that I can be promoted. And then, that's the last slide. Faith is belief that God never fails. That's the message. So 1 year later, yeah, my new boss gave me a performance rating, excellence performance. So every year, when we finish 1 year, every employee is rated in terms of performance. They have 5 levels of rating. Yeah. So the company expects everybody to be at least in the performance. They call high performance, because the companies expect everyone to perform high. There is, let's say, someone that's below the performance, that's an acceptable performance. Normally, an acceptable performance is put in a program to try to recover or be dismissed. That one in the fourth level, it's also received some support. And then the high performance team is the one that gets the bonus full. And then there's the excellent performance. That's one, the performance above the average. And this needs to be agreed. It's not about my boss to nominate. Other peers needs to agree. I need to, like I mentioned, do 360-degree self-evaluation. So others should support that recommendation of excellence performance. And I got it, and the others support it. So it was a sign that I have, let's say, be loyal to my boss. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I did my best not to do any kind of sabotage. On the contrary, to help him to increase. And then this year, remember I mentioned I went to England in January this year. That was a workshop there. It's a very important workshop to prepare the 5 years strategy. And I was there, blah, blah, blah. I participated in the workshop. Actually, I conducted part of the workshop. It was a good moment with him, etc. And then when we flew back to US, he said, I'm resigning. I'm leaving Rolls-Royce. I got a position in GE, our competitor. Okay, what? Yes, and I believe you are the best person to perform that job. So I will recommend you for the position, but you know Rolls-Royce structure. This position should be published internally. All the candidates who are interested in that position will apply, and then they will select, but this will be in a classical interview process, because it's not it's a regular process. Okay. So thanks for that. I'm very interested, so I will apply, and then the hiring manager, I talked to the hiring manager that to be the boss of my boss, yeah. Say, well, I'm consider that position as well, and I will apply, etc. And then he said, well, there's a lot of candidates for that. I said, okay, no problem. I just need one position open. That's fine. That works for me. And that's okay. So then they prepared the schedule. I was the last candidate to be interviewed. I say, well, why is that? Okay, that's fine. Let's not think why I'm the last one to be interviewed. So why they have put all the others to be interviewed first. But okay, no problem. Then we have last Monday was the interview date. And then I put what was my preparation for the interview date. So the interview was 1 p.m. So when I start my work day, yeah, I did the English Shinsoka meditation, just visualizing me as performing the job. Not being successful in the interview, but performing the job. I know what my boss was to do, so I was seeing myself in his place. Yeah, that's one thing I did. And then I take a picture of the two interviewers. I know who will be interviewing me. I put the two pictures in my screen, and the interview is online, as like here. It's use Microsoft Teams. So I put like it was a online meeting. I put the two pictures from the lady and the guy, the hiring manager, the owner of the position, and those are vice president. So in the one. And then I did I read the Divine Message for Grand Harmony to them. So to promote harmonization, reconciliation with myself and them. That was my second action. Then I did the number 3. I did the recitations 20 times. I'm very important. I I can, I act, I achieve, I deserve. Because I am a child of God, I have infinite capacity. I am more powerful than any difficult or challenge. I mentioned I did that recitation 20 times before my interview. And then, of course, I did 1 minute laugh. I always mention that when I have a very important meeting, do a kind of laugh practice to just, let's say, have a joyful face and put our energy up. I did that, and as a Catholic, I did the Lord's Prayer before the meeting. And then I did the interview. Of course, I did before. I did the technical preparation for the technical preparation, everything that I need to know to perform. But of course, but this is again, everybody else was doing that. The spiritual part of the interview, I don't know how many did. Yeah, I know that I did. Yeah, because we are Seicho-No-Ie, so we know that everything is phenomenal and spiritual. So everybody did the phenomenal part, is learning, studying, be prepared for the questions. And I did the spiritual one. And what's the result? So last Thursday, 3 hours before the meeting, I got a job offer to be promoted.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Wow.
I have been promoted at 62. Yeah, at 62. I'll be the head of procurement compliance risk assurance USA and Asia Pacific. I'm in charge of the compliance in
Wow.
US,
Great.
India, Singapore, Japan, and China. So that's my
Oh,
new job.
wow.